Hey YouTube, this is Scandalous Dee with another review for Scandal. This is Scandal Season 3, Episode 2, entitled Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This is October 11th, 2013. It's 8:47 p.m. And let's get into it. This episode has so much into it. I loved it. Olivia's father made me hate him even more, but we're going to talk about him. It's a lot of flashbacks, so I think I'm going to wrap up all the flashbacks and then do the present. Anyway, okay, flashbacks. 5 years ago, Olivia and her father used to have dinner every Sunday. And it shows more of her and how she met Huck. You know, he was the homeless guy on the subway. And, she used to bring him doggy bags or whatever. Anyway, these guys try to steal her bag, and Huck beats the crap out of him, saves her, and then, what happens is she questions him. She goes, well, how did you learn how to kill people? He goes, I used to be a part of this CIA spy group called B613. I used to learn how to kill people. I loved to do it. Then couldn't do my job anymore. And they threw me in the hole where I went insane. And, they told me, welcome to the force, welcome to Wonderland. But really, it's not Wonderland. And, oh, God, I don't know how I learned. I don't know if I am a spy or what. I don't know. I just kill people very quickly, and I don't know. And then she just looks like, is this some medication you should be taking? He just goes, no. He goes, I want a cheeseburger so bad. You think you and your dad can go to a place where they sell cheeseburgers? And she's just looking like, okay. Anyway, she goes and asks her father. Her father finds out, I guess they talk about how the guy who saved her, and she goes, I really want to look into whatever you told me about B613. He gets a little bit offended. He's like, well, this guy isn't somebody you should be paying attention to. She was like, he just seemed like he was just really lost, and I really want to help him. And she goes, can you look into it? He goes, okay, fine, I'll look into it. And so he comes back to her and says, oh, that guy, yeah, he's a schizophrenic. He's crazy. He talks to himself. You can't trust him. And she just goes, well, he doesn't even seem like it. She goes, look, end it. Don't worry about it. Can you eat? Can we just enjoy this dinner? And she just drops her like, oh, okay. But what she does do in the flashback, she goes to see David, and he has a little goatee, and she just basically asks him, to look into it. He goes, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That guy was never in the system at all. She was like, but that's impossible because, I told my father to look into it, and he said that he had all these arrests. He said, nope, whoever told you that lied to you. Squeaky clean, never been in the system. And then she puts two and two together, and she just goes, oh my God, I think my dad is a part of B613. I think he's the one who had Huck, put in that hole. And then she confronts him and asks him, what do you do for a living? What do you do? Please don't lie to me. Please tell me the truth. He reads her and goes, look, I want us to have a good relationship. You don't want to know me. You don't want to know what I do. I'm your father. I pay for you to eat. Sit down and eat. Don't worry about what I do. And you don't want to know me in that way. This is like the nice version. He tells her a lot more aggressive than I ever could. But anyway, she just goes, oh, do you kill people? Do you kill people? And he just goes, look, Olivia, you don't want to know what I do. She walks away, and then next thing you know, she brings Edison, to me, her father. They were engaged at the time. And then she brings him. She goes, he's a senator. He makes sure everything is good with the law and the public. And he's going to be great. Don't you think so? He's going to be great. So in a way, she's trying to blackmail him into releasing Huck and, try to, leave Huck alone. And then he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then Huck is back on the street, and she helps him, and that's how Huck begins working for her. But while she's on the phone rings, she just goes, hello. He goes, hey, you should be saying thank you. She's disgusted with him, angry, doesn't want anything to do with him. He goes, Edison, you better check on him. He goes, Edison, what are you talking about? He goes, did you hear he's in the hospital? He got a broken collarbone, 2 broken legs. I can't remember the rest, but that guy, went through a lot. He really went through a lot. You better make sure when you give him back that ring that you let him down easy because he's been through a whole lot. And then she just goes, oh, I will never speak to you again. We are done. We are over. He goes, we're never going to be over. We're family. And that's the last of it. That's the whole flashback. You finally get to realize that it wasn't because she didn't love Edison that she had to break it off, that her father made her do it. But anyway, that's the flashback. The press and the media and everybody are eating up the fact that Janine is supposedly the mistress. Liv is representing the mistress. It's a cute moment between Liv and the president where he basically just says, I got to meet this person, and whenever I have good news, I want to talk to you. You're the only one I want to talk to. And she says, you don't want to talk to me. He goes, yes, I do. I want to talk to you. He goes, I wish we, if this were a regular life, we'd be married, have 4 kids, live in Vermont. She was like, I know, big jam. And he was like, yeah. And they have this cute moment. I really want them to be together. But anyway, she goes, I'm gonna, hit the White House when I defend Janine. He goes, yeah, go for the jugular. And she goes, I will. And she basically says that it's a lie that, the White House has lied on Janine and is trying to make her out to be something that she's not. She goes, and I for one know what that's like, because just yesterday they were saying that I was the mistress, and of course we know that's the truth. But she goes, and she's basically trying to say that the White House doesn't know who the mistress is, if there even is a mistress. But anyway, Cyrus and Melly were looking for for Janine, but they realized Olivia's representing her. And they really want Fitz to admit that he's having an affair with her. And Fitz is like, I'm not doing that. The only thing I'll say is that they lied on Janine. And then he goes, you two better back me up and say that this is a lie. And they were like, if we don't, he goes, oh, try me. And then Cyrus doesn't want to push him. He's like, it's not the time to push him. Don't push him. But he's like, he's my husband. I'll push him if I want to. And this is what we're going to do. And she goes, I have this folder with all these dates where I was out of town. Match this up to where she was in the office with him or in the White House, and basically just destroy her character even more so, because we got to put this on Janine. Okay. OPA, they're looking for Janine's alibi, and she says, "Oh, I have these emails talking about how she never was alone. How when she worked late, she had a partner, and they would email each other, and that's her alibi." But anyway, something happens where she's in Olivia's house sleeping, and then Millie calls her and goes, I really need to talk to you. And she goes in the car room and she goes, it wasn't me, I didn't sleep with the president, it was never. She goes, I know it wasn't you, dear, but I want to talk to you about your future. Come to find out, Millie then offered her $2 million cash, tax free, to go on the air and admit that she had an affair. Meanwhile, Liv is trying to do her best not to, or to try to prove that she wasn't the one who had the affair. And then she wants to also find Jake Ballard. And the deal is basically that she has to not help Janine, and that's the only way she can get Jake Ballard. She goes to the president, asks him to look into Jake Ballard and try to see if he's still alive, see if he can help him. He goes to Cyrus, and Cyrus goes, you don't want B613 drama, you don't want that, Jake Ballard, just let it rest. He goes, you better do it, or I'm going to have to go on there and go on national TV and say that me and Olivia had an affair, go to tell the truth. The deal is either I tell the truth and me and you both get out of here, out of the White House, or you find Jake and I go and admit that Janine was my mistress. And then he's basically goes, now how presidential are my balls now? What do you want to do? He goes, and make it fast because I need to know what I'm going to say. Meanwhile, he just goes on there and admits that Janine is indeed the mistress. And in return, Jake Ballard gets released. Rowan, aka Papa Pope, calls Olivia and is like, why don't you, open up your door, open up your door. And then she goes in there, and then it's Jake all beaten up. What I didn't talk about is how Quinn was snooping around and found out that why Olivia and her father had that separation period, and Huck finds out that Olivia's father was the command. He goes and chokes Olivia up because Olivia lied to him, and Olivia just goes, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." She basically doesn't know what to say. He goes, "Is command your father?" And then she just basically goes, "Yes." And he finds out that she did a deal, and that's how he got released. But anyway, Scandal was crazy. I loved everything. Can't wait to see next week. Hope this was a good video. Had a lot going on. I'm trying to get it in under like 11 or 12 minutes. But anyway, I really, really hate Papa Pope right now. Olivia, girl, drama as always. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week.